While the world's attention was locked on the ferocious battle raging across eastern Ukraine, a second equally audacious strategic front was quietly and rapidly being opened by the United States and its key NATO allies. The focus of this new effort was the small non-NATO nation of Moldova, which has for decades been settled with a pro-Russian breakaway region. Transnistria, hosting a contingent of Russian troops. In a high-stakes gambit to compound Russia's strategic crisis, the Trump administration initiated an urgent program to arm and train the Moldovan military, effectively preparing it to confront and neutralize the Russian military presence on its own sovereign territory. The plan represents a dramatic expansion of the conflict theater, aiming to force Moscow into an impossible choice: divert precious forces from the main offensive in Ukraine to defend its isolated troops in Transnistria, or risk a humiliating and swift defeat on a new front. The operation was spearheaded by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who engaged in a whirlwind of discreet diplomacy with Moldova's pro-Western government and with key regional allies, most notably Romania. Publicly, the initiative was framed as a defensive measure to bolster Moldovan sovereignty and territorial integrity in the face of Russian aggression. Secretary Rubio argued that Russia's blatant disregard for international borders in Ukraine proved that no neighboring country was safe, and that Moldova had every right to a credible self-defense. Behind the scene, the message was more direct. The United States and a core group of NATO members were offering Moldova a historic opportunity, a one-time chance to resolve the Transnistria problem with overwhelming Western support, while Russia was distracted and overextended. The military component of the plan, overseen by Secretary of Defense Peter Hegseth at the Pentagon, was already in motion. A massive air and land bridge of military equipment began flowing to Moldova, primarily through its NATO member neighbor, Romania. T-17 Globemaster transport plane from the U.S. Air Force, along with aircraft from the United Kingdom and Poland, began landing almost hourly at airfield in Romania near the Moldovan border, offloading pallets of advanced weaponry. Convoys of trucks then discreetly transported the cargo into Moldova. The material was not merely surplus Soviet-era equipment, it was a significant upgrade to NATO's standard system. This included thousands of Javelin anti-tank missiles, Stinger's anti-aircraft system, modern encrypted communication gear, night vision equipment, and dozens of armored personnel carriers intended to give the small Moldovan army newfound mobility and firepower. Crucially, the support went far beyond equipment. Special Operation Forces and military training teams from several NATO countries were deployed to Moldova. These advisors, working at remote Moldovan military bases, began an intensive crash course to train Moldovan soldiers in modern combined armed tactics. The objective was to quickly transform Moldova's modest army into a force capable of executing a swift and decisive operation against the estimated 1,500 Russian troops and their larger force of local Transnistrian proxies. This training included urban combat, anti-armor tactics, and the use of sophisticated intelligence provided by American agencies. Director of the CIA, John Ratcliffe's agency, was tasked with providing Moldovan commanders with a complete, real-time intelligence picture of the Russian force in Transnistria, including their precise location, command structure, supply depots, and vulnerabilities. For Moldova's government, accepting this offer was a monumental risk. It meant voluntarily stepping into a direct military conflict with Russia. However, watching the brutal Russian offensive unfold in neighboring Ukraine, Moldovan leaders came to the conclusion that neutrality offered no real safety. They saw the American proposal as their only realistic chance to restore their country's full sovereignty and remove the permanent threat posed by the Russian military presence. The swift and powerful backing from the Trump administration convinced them that this was a unique window of opportunity that might never open again. The decision was made to proceed. As Ukrainian forces braced for more attacks in the east, a new conflict was being meticulously prepared on Russia's southwestern flank, threatening to turn the entire Black Sea region into a single interconnected war zone. Many of my listeners, like 70%, haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel. And so many of you don't even know that you haven't subscribed. That is actually what makes the show going. It's almost like you're making a donation to the show. So that's why I ask again and again, because it enables us to grow and grow and grow. And we're going for the long haul here. And listen, if this is your first time listening to Sok Hain Rich, you don't have to subscribe. You guys, your first one's on me. But if you have watched this show before, it's like you are a freeloader now. So all I would ask you is, if you have seen this show before and you like it, help me, help my team here. Hit that subscribe and like button now. And we will continue to build this show for you. That I swear. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. That's all for me for today. I will see you soon. Bye for now.